What was once a heavily contaminated industrial site for the better part of a century is now home to one of Bellingham's hottest new hangouts. For as long as I can remember, steam has billowed from the stacks of the Georgia Pacific Mill, but now that is all changed. Today, we're gonna take a deep dive into the Bellingham waterfront from its gritty past to the exciting new future. Whether you're a current resident or you're considering a move to Bellingham, the waterfront development offers a really promising future for what was once 137 acres of abandoned land. If you are considering a move to Bellingham, feel free to reach out. I'm a local real estate agent here and I love helping people move to the place that I was born and raised. I'm gonna put all my contact information down in the description below, and make sure to stick around to the end of the video where we tour a couple of the units in the waterfront condominiums. So historically, Waypoint Park and the Bellingham waterfront was a very industrious place, from salmon canneries to logging mills to paper mills. Actually, from 1926 all the way into the 2000s, it was a paper mill. It went from being owned by this guy, I believe his name's Ocean Anderson, and then he sold it to Georgia Pacific in 1963, and it was operated all the way until between 2001 and 2007 is when they sort of dialed back their production, and 2005 is when the Port of Bellingham actually purchased all this land from Georgia Pacific and began what is now the waterfront development. One of my favorite aspects of the development that they've done is preserve some of the history of Bellingham through elements like the acid ball, which is an acid tank from the paper mill that has been fully restored and is now an art installation. You also have the digester tanks, which there's a really cool video on YouTube of them tearing down that building and kind of revealing the tanks that are still there right above trackside. And then you also have the Granary Building, which was actually built in the 1920s as an elevator grain building. And if you go on the second floor, and in various parts of it, they've done a really cool job of restoring it, and some of those original elements are still there, but it's been modernized, and you have really nice businesses in there like Mercado del Bonta, which probably pronouncing that wrong, but their focaccia bread is amazing, and so are their sandwiches, and they have some good coffee there as well. You also have cryo rolls, which if you have Instagram or TikTok, I'm sure you've probably seen. All their videos go crazy viral. Which is so funny. They're just in the Granary in Bellingham. And then on the upper levels, you have kind of mixed use businesses. You have Honey Hair Salon, as well as I believe Bellingham Yoga Collective is still there. And it'll be really cool to see what else goes in there. There's really cool views from those upper decks. And yeah, I could see like a really cool restaurant going in there with a great patio setting, something like that. But we'll just wait and see. It's probably gonna be 10, 15 years before everything's fully matured in this area. It's still very early days, still just finishing phase one of the waterfront condominium buildings, but I love the way that they've incorporated the history of Bellingham into this development. So now we get to the present. What we have right now, we have phase one of the waterfront condominiums already finished. We have Waypoint Park, some of the restored historical features like I just mentioned, the acid ball, digester tanks, the Granary Building. Waypoint Park has a really cool playground for children, as well as a nice beach, skipping rocks, looking out across the channel to the brand new Beach Cat Brewery location. They started in Birch Bay and they just expanded to the waterfront here in Bellingham. And it's a really cool setting, great views, great beer. And then you also have Portal Village, which is where the trackside name comes in. It's called Colshan Brewery Trackside because it's right next to the pump track and all the big jumps. They throw festivals in that area like the Northwest Tune-Up, which is a huge mountain biking festival. I believe they had Chet Faker was the headliner of the music portion of the Northwest Tune-Up this year. Don't quote me on it. You also have Zeke's Pizza, as well as a brand new wine bar, which is really cool. They actually built a deck on top of the storage container, and so you can kind of see out into the water. Bellingham has so much beer. It's nice to have an option to get a nice glass of wine. Another really cool aspect that's actually gonna get expanded on very soon is the DIY skate park that's under the bridge, kind of on the outskirts of the waterfront development. And yeah, we'll go over that in just a second. Right now, it's just a bunch of volunteers, friends that have built ramps, have brought rails and skateboard under the bridge. What's really nice is it's covered, so you can actually use it a little bit during the winter, which in Bellingham, there's no covered skate parks like there is in Seattle or Vancouver, or at least there used to be when I was skateboarding. That was 20 years ago. But yeah, we'll go over that in a little more detail in just a second. The other thing that's really cool is there is going to be affordable living. They've already finished one of the apartment buildings. It's right in front of Gruff Brewery. So yeah, that's sort of what's going on right this second at the Waterfront development that's already here that you can come down and enjoy. A lot of it for free. The pump track's free, the skate park's free. Walking on the trails are free, the beach is free. I think that's the big aim for the port, is to, really create these third places. You have home, work, and then a third place. And that's what they're really trying to create here for the community of Bellingham, which is honestly a really cool mission. Another really well thought out part of this development is the energy usage. They're actually using heat runoff from the Puget Sound Energy facility that's just over that way to basically power all of this development, all the heating and cooling systems. And by doing so and using this, what would otherwise be wasted energy, it's going to save 2,400 tons of carbon emissions each year. And it also lowers the cost for future developers, as well as makes the whole entire system more efficient as this area continues to grow. There's another really cool video. I will also try to link that one down in the description, going into way more detail with the people that actually created that system and how it is one of the only systems in Washington that is utilizing this. And we're probably gonna see this be used in a lot of future developments in Washington state and hopefully beyond. So there is more that is already in the works. It's already planned for. They have expected completion dates, which are all a bit optimistic in my opinion, but you have phase 2 of the Waterfront condominiums. It's actually looking really good. There's going to be more retail space on the bottom level, and I'm going to be curious to see what businesses end up renting that space and utilizing it, whether it's shops and restaurants or whatever it may be. It's going to be really cool to see all that develop, and maybe there'll be some new businesses for us to enjoy as well. They're also going to be doing phase 3 of the Waterfront condominiums, which will be another building. There will be more condos, more retail space, and that's gonna sort of complete the waterfront living condominiums in this area. They're already all the way built up on phase 2. They're about 2 floors up on phase 3. And then I imagine they're going to start utilizing all the space that's outside that they have had their construction equipment on, turning that into trails. That's going to lead to the next really cool development. I think this is by far the coolest thing that I have heard in a long time. I didn't even realize that this was happening until I did the research to make this video. It's gonna be called the Salish Landing Park. It's gonna be 3 acres. It's gonna be the biggest waterfront park in Bellingham. If you've ever driven along State Street that turns into Boulevard, you've seen this big white lump underneath Boulevard on the other side of the cliff. That is all going to be turned into a beautiful park. There's going to be tons of parking. It's going to be gorgeous. I'm super excited. And the eventual plan is to connect the Waterfront District and Waypoint Park all the way to Boulevard. And you're gonna be able to ride your bike from Beach Cat to Woods Coffee to Fairhaven, all along the water. It's honestly gonna be incredible. It's gonna be so cool. I can't wait till that happens. I imagine it's still a ways out, but just the fact that it's in the works is really special. The other really cool thing that I was sort of hinting at earlier is they're going to make a permanent skate park where the DIY skate park is currently. Absolutely gorgeous. There's gonna be lights. People actually go and throw pop-up concerts there already. I think it's gonna be incredibly special. And what's so cool and I think really reflective of the port, the people in charge, legislators, politicians in Bellingham, is instead of seeing this DIY skate park and trying to take it down, they leaned into it and are gonna make that a permanent third space for those people that love skateboarding, kids, adults, everyone in between. It's gonna be more of a family-friendly skate park in comparison to Civic Field, which is pretty intense. And I think it's just really gonna complement the pump track nicely. The last thing on this list, and it's just outside of this zone, but it's so Bellingham that I had to include it in this video. And I already forgot how to pronounce it. I looked it up on Google, but I think it's Arret Lofts. And basically what it's gonna be is a climbing gym that's also an apartment building. It's gonna be right next to the Cabin Tavern, if you know where that is, but it's gonna be right next to there. It looks gorgeous, and I don't know, I'm curious to see how that turns out as well. So I thought I'd throw that into this video since it's so close to here, and it's definitely going to add to this area, even though it's not specifically right in this area. So there is gonna be some future projects that may happen, may or may not. They're still sort of up in the air. They're sort of ideas at this point. And one of them being the board mill building. They're thinking of maybe turning into a boutique hotel or brewery, of course, something like that, or maybe like a shared event space, sort of like what the Bellingham Farmers Market building is now, I would imagine. And I think that's gonna be really cool if it comes to fruition. It's such a special building. So I already kind of touched on it, talking about the board mill building, but they are talking about a hotel or conference center to sort of drive tourism to this area and support all this future retail space that's gonna be underneath the Waterfront condominium. So we'll see if that comes to fruition. Alrighty, so here we are at the entrance of the Waterfront condominiums. It's pretty cool. You have just a little key fob to get in, and you have your grand entrance. Really nice, glass staircase, a little lounge here on your right, beautiful modern chandelier. You can see all the pump track and everything out there, and then look at that, so nice. Shout out Chris and Stacy for letting me tour, and we'll speed up to the top floor and we're gonna go check out the corner unit, the most expensive one. Walking into unit 501, it's listed at 1.85 million. It's 3 beds, 3.25 baths, and it's almost 2,800 square feet. We'll go check out the living room and the reason for the price tag right now. You have these floor to ceiling, almost sliding glass doors. Every single one of these opens, and you get views of the water, which are incredible. Your living room right here. I could see someone situating this the other way, so that way you could look out at the view. And then you have a kitchen, oversized island, electric cooktop, dining area, and then these really nice white cabinets, kind of soft open and soft close. And then this deck is really where you can see the value in this house. It's huge. So yeah, you could just imagine the sun would probably set right around there in the winter, probably sets right around here in the summer. And yeah, just incredible sunset views. So plenty of space out here for a couch, whatever patio furniture that you would want. And it wraps around all the way to the primary bathroom, which we'll go into in a second. And here you get a view of trackside. Alrighty, let's go back around and go check out the bedrooms. Those are really cool too. Don't mind my camera gear. So this is the entry door. This is the guest bathroom for when you have guests over. You have the modern mirrors with the lights around it and shows you the temperature and time, and you can set a timer and everything there. And then right on your right is the primary suite. You have this really nice built-in walk-in closet. Sometimes developers and builders skimp in the closet and we'll just put wire racks in here and let the new owners update it. But I love when they finish it. It makes it really nice. And I think it really completes the house. And then we'll go in the primary bathroom in just a second. This is what they have set up as the primary bedroom. And this one does have a tub and, or like a separate tub and separate walk-in shower. And you also get a view of the water right there. And then right there is gonna be where the Salish Park is gonna be. And I imagine a lot of that area is gonna be park as well. And here we are. And there's actually another closet right here, kind of a coat closet. And then this is the primary bathroom. You have the toilet right around the corner there. Really nice sized tub. Looks really beautiful. Huge mirror, dual sinks. And then the walk-in shower right here. And more views of the water right out there. So yeah, that's the 1.0. Still got 2 bedrooms to go, I always forget. And then we have bedroom number 2, ensuite bathroom, tub shower combo. And then this one has views of the pump track. I could see someone using this one as an office too. You could definitely use it as a bedroom. Plenty of space to fit a queen size bed in here for sure. If not a king, it'd be a little snug for a king. And yeah, kind of cool views of the city. You have your closet on this side. And that's where the dead fire alarm is. Yeah, more built-ins right there. And then places to hang coats and such right there. And that brings us to bedroom number 3, which also has an ensuite bathroom. And this one just has a walk-in shower. Fancy mirror and views of the pump track. And then you also have this extra storage space right here. Turn on the light for the rest of your coats and whatever you might need to put there. So here we are at 306, just a couple floors down from the other one. This one's listed at 535,000. It's 763 square feet, 1 bed, 1.25 baths. So you walk right into the kitchen. You still have all the same really nice finishes. You do instead have wood tone cabinets, but they look to be the same, same style as the 1.85 house. Same stove, safe for the hand. Just various different details. I think the oven is different, microwave is different, and maybe the dishwasher is different. And then on your left here, you have where your stackable washer and dryer would go. And you have the quarter bath, or sorry, half bath. As well as a coat closet with the built-ins. I'm having trouble with these doors. Oh, it's because they're soft. They don't slam, which is nice. They're soft close, I was fighting them. And shelving right there for, I would imagine you probably put shoes right there since you're right by your front door. And then you're right into the living room. These actually feel pretty spacious for only being 763 square feet. Oh, you are missing a fridge right there as well. You don't really have a huge deck, but you do have a little kind of Juliet balcony right here. You can see we're much lower to the ground. I guess this is actually the second floor. So 306 is actually the second floor. I guess the first floor is technically the parking garage. There is secure parking underneath, and you believe you get a spot when you purchase a condo. But yeah, this is the city view condo. And yeah, pretty good space in here actually. And then right off to your left here is your 1-bedroom. More views of the pump track. And I believe this is privacy glass. I don't think people can see in this. We'll confirm that when we go back outside. And then this is a 3/4 bath. You have your walk-in closet for this bedroom on this side. You have that same built-in style from the $1.8 million one. And then you have your walk-in shower and toilet right there. So yeah, pretty good value. I mean, really low maintenance. It's all one level. You have access via the elevator, you have secure parking, and you're right in the heart of Bellingham, which is really nice. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're curious about other aspects of living in Bellingham, make sure to subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna be making a lot more videos coming up soon. And I'm really curious what you guys think of this waterfront development. Leave your opinions down in the comments. I wanna hear what everyone else thinks about this, whether they think it's good, bad, in the middle. If you are thinking of moving to Bellingham, again, all my contact information will be down in the description below. Feel free to reach out, even if you just have simple questions about living in the area, or maybe you want me to make a video tour about a different part of Bellingham that maybe no one else has done. You can also leave it down in the comments, but feel free to text me. My phone number is right down there. And thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.